All right. Hello. Welcome back for another episode of CaseyBuilds Live. Today, we're going to be doing something kind of nostalgic, I suppose. This is a newer Technic set. This is a newer Technic set that came out. I think this was in last year. Don't see the copyright on it. I'm going to say it was in the last year. I think it was a 2019. Anyway, point is it's very much like an old-fashioned Technic set, as I've been showing so many of for so long. Same old yellow, kind of like basic, tractors or basic cars, things like that. Nothing. It's not going to be as densely complex as the Porsche. The Porsche was. So it's just going to be kind of old-fashioned. But it's also going to be interesting today. It'll be slightly different and newer as far as CaseyBuilds goes. Because this is not one of the sets. The interior of the set, all of the bags, they are not spread out into different numbered sections. So pretty much all of the pieces are just going to be, it's going to be a free-for-all. But Lex is going to be sorting for me here on the table while we do it today. So this will be the first time that she'll be building slightly, or sorting slightly off camera. There we go. Put it off to the side for now. Oh. Lots of stickers. Great. I would have said this build would have been about an hour and a half with bags separate. But usually it goes a little bit slower when you have to be rifling through everything like this. So, couple hours? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's an interesting new way to do a CaseyBuilds. Whoops. Wrong trigger. Okay. Anyway, let's go back over here and see. Ah, yeah, okay. All right. Well, so to start out today, we're going to have to actually find what pieces we need, which is a lot harder at the beginning than it is at the end once everything's sorted out. So hopefully the crinkling of the wrappers here isn't too terrible coming through on the mic, I hope. There's some ones we need. Oh, the best way to do this. This will be a little tricky today, getting everything to fit.
I can sort them on the trays, put the trays on the floor. To give you more room on the table.
Well, that's an idea. We need to. Cross that bridge when we come to it. Yeah, definitely aim for density of pieces. Like I said, this is going to be like a nice old-fashioned Lego build here. Oh, hello and happy Sunday to you too, Mom. My family has been dealing with dogs having internal issues all weekend, so I know that's been a lot of fun for you guys up there. Hopefully that's cooling down. Alex sent me pictures of the horror show that he woke up to this morning, and it didn't look like that would have been any fun. So, poor pups. So this set is in the traditional old style. It actually something they started doing. So back on the old Lego days, before the internet, these old Technic sets, one of the things that was really cool about them was, unlike all of the other sets, they would give you the instruction book would actually come with like 10 different things you could build, with instructions for 10 different things. And it obviously, having the instructions to build so many different things would make it give you a lot of fun replay value out of the set without having to just build the same thing over and over again, or forcing you to get creative and build other things. Anyway, once the internet became a thing, Lego started leaving extra instructions out of the box, but they say you can go online and download instructions, which this is the case. This is actually they designate these things now as a 2-in-1. If you see here, the box says 2-in-1. So you could actually, they have instructions online to build this dumper. Yeah. And you just download them from the website, the same place that I download the instructions that you can see down here in the corner. Same place. You just put in the set number and it comes up with all the various instructions. So that is actually something I had forgotten about, but I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they don't, sets like this where it's a 2-in-1 set, they don't put the pieces in numbered bags, because depending on the set you're building, the numbered bags may not even mean anything. So I had forgotten about that little factoid when I picked this set out today. But it gives us an opportunity to do things this way. So go ahead and dump. Thank you.
Do you want it on a tray?
No, just do your best to sort them out a little.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't think you guys can completely see. I think it's slightly off camera up here, but Lex is doing a impressive job of sorting all of these things out as best one could try to do. And we almost have all the bags open at this point. There's only one left over here. And it seems like whenever they have these sorts of sets, I don't know if it happens on purpose or if it's just unlucky. But when it's a set like this where you have to open up everything, it seems like each step you go through, every single step of the way for the first 10 steps or whatever, actually is in a different bag. So they pretty much force you to open up every single bag as you're going through, which is kind of annoying, but again, if you were building the other set, they wouldn't be able to give you the bags in the right order anyway. So Yes, a tray-free build. Yes, indeed. I'm looking for a little yellow piece. That's the one. Thank you. So this little thing that we're working on right here is kind of tricky. You gotta. Sometimes it feels like you should have one more set of fingers. But we got it. Okay, that's a 13 long. 1, 13, 13. Since this is the first time I'm building this one, it will be interesting to see what ends up being what. Like this could be the middle of the thing. This could be the steering column, perhaps. Definitely won't know for a while yet. There we go. And for the final bag. These are tricky. There's a lot of these guys here. I'll put it on that right there. A lot of these little round dudes. Those really love just rolling themselves right off the table. So hopefully we won't be losing any of those today. Okay, and this little guy, it needs to be face in. This is, I think those are all the same. You don't need to sort those out. There we are. Okay. So this is very specifically set up like this to match the instructions. So since a lot of the time in these Technic sets, you'll put something in place like this one right now. We're putting this in place here, and it'll have you not push this all the way through yet, because at some point eventually something else will be down here on this side that at that point you push this through and it'll lock it into place. So that's one of the things that you always have to pay attention to, especially with Technic sets, to not push pieces further than they tell you to push them, because a lot of the time you just put the piece and you attach it and that's where it can go. Can't go anywhere else, can't go any further. But actually on this step too, so for something like this, which is a kind of a 3 long thing, they want you, it shows, to put them into place here, but not to push them all the way through yet. You can see that you can do that. So this set specifically shows not putting them all the way through. So usually that's going to mean that something will be on top, and then these will again lock them into place. So that's all very common stuff for Technic sets. Something that you're probably not used to building other normal Lego sets, but Something to pay attention to when you're doing Technic. And hello, Taco Cub. Ah, yeah, okay. See, we're going to go like that, which if these pieces were up, that would not be able to slide into place like that. And now in the next step, now we push these up to lock all those into place. How's your Sunday looking, Taco Cub? These guys right here. These pieces right here are actually some of the pieces that when I take the sets back apart, I don't usually take these apart because they lock into place and they snap into place pretty tight, pretty snugly, and in any step that these are on, they're always together like this. You never take them apart or need to put one down before you put the other one down. Like it's always a combo deal like this. So this is one of the few pieces that I actually don't disassemble when taking these things apart. Oh, hello, Brick Machines. Glad to hear that this is a good set. Let's see what I did here. This needs to go this way. So this part's really interesting because so they had us put these in here. It's going to go in here, and then they have a very unorthodox Lego angle view to show that this is actually supposed to fit up in here to be able to put those into place. So these are what I was talking about with needing to make sure you wait to be able to put these pieces together and push them all the way through. Seems like that's going to be something that is going to continue to be important in this set. So, and I'm just lining this up to, I just got really lucky. So one of the things that's not important at all, and it's just a little bit crazier, or a little bit less crazy than trying to align all of the Lego words to go in the same way, is putting this together. These, this part and this part are now geared together. And I got really lucky because I like to make it so that when these things, this one is currently parallel or perpendicular, whichever, it's lined up at a 90-degree angle with all of the other things. And this little guy up here is also at going the cardinal directions. When I had put this in place, it could have just as easily been like this, with this guy being at a different angle. And it doesn't matter at all because this will probably end up having something else on top of it that spins where there's no such thing as a cardinal direction. But my little bit of OCD, being what it is, that's one of the things that I always check to make sure it lines up. Because otherwise it would drive me crazy. Here, do this one. These ones are pretty much almost all the same kind. Oh no. The one case with Technic sets where I don't feel like that's necessarily totally crazy to do is when, when I was building the Porsche set, making sure that the steering wheel, the teeth of the steering wheel line up such that it's actually that it's in the neutral position when the wheels are straight. Because if it's slightly off with the wheel straight, that's just madness. Anyway. Man, you are just hauling. Doing a great job. Okay, now we have another fun piece here. I'll show it to you all in a second. Ooh. I'm not sure what the actual name of this guy is, but it's made so that when this is in a fixed position, something like that, and this end turns, you can see it's actually extending out. Bo James, welcome to the stream.
It's still not Zester.
This set does not have separate bags today, so Lex is actually doing me a solid to sort everything out right here live on the table while I'm building. So one of the things it shows you here in step 19, if you look right around here, pow, right there, it actually tells you to extend this out before attaching it. So don't really know what the reason is behind that yet, but I'm sure there is one. Go. And we need one of these wheels. Go on through. All right, looks like that's going to need to be centered in there. There we go. So now you can see once this has something, once this is attached to something, turning, man, I need to, maybe I can show it now. Once that's attached to something like that, then this is going to be a lot easier to show once it's attached. Going to hold off on the explanation until we get to that point. Okay, this guy needs to be on here. And like I was talking about earlier, now that this is in place, we'll be able to push this through into this spot right here, linking it all together. Since it looks like that's what it's telling us to do. So. And before we do that, let's make sure everything is lined up all proper. Oh, we don't need to yet. This doesn't actually attach to an end point. There we go. Wow. All the sorting. Okay, this is getting tricky. We got arrows coming at different angles, so we need this one to get in here and oh, okay. So what it wants is for us to go and twist and pivot that into place down here, so that as you can see through here, this one is going to actually lock into the existing one down there. Whew. That's fun. Okay. I'm not really going to be able to hold it up and show while I'm doing this. There's too much going on. But let's see here. This needs to be between those two. There. So now, when this piece is kept from turning, when I turn with my right hand back here, you can see it's growing and shrinking the part up here with my left hand. That's fun. Okay, what do we need now? We need a couple more of these. 4 of those and 2 of those. So this is exactly the sort of set. I mean, not to say that any of the other sets in here are not, but this is the exact sort of set that I would have absolutely loved having as a kid. Getting to see the way all these gears lock together, and I mean, I certainly would have loved to have something like the Porsche or something like that, but this would have been probably been one of my most loved sets had it existed 35 years ago. Okay. Oh, there was another piece that was supposed to go through, but it never, I don't think, had an arrow telling me to push it through. But looking at the instructions now, this is supposed to be all the way down. So it's possible that's backwards. Actually, we're gonna have to go back a few steps, which I hate doing. Oh, I just put it on upside down. That's why it didn't have an arrow to go through, because that was supposed to be underneath all along. Oh, man. Oh, that's going to be tricky to fix retroactively. I don't know. Maybe. Nope. Get that out of the way, and I can put my fingers in there. Nope. Oh man, I really messed that up, guys. That's a bummer. Okay. That'll fix it. Although now it's not going to be lined up. Oh my gosh. It's still lined up. I don't even know what the odds are that I could have done that. How lucky. Now let's see if we can get this other stuff back together. That one. These things are always way harder to do when you're not doing it in the order Lego tells you to. As was evidenced by that lighting kit. That horrible, horrible lighting kit. That looks good now. Taco Cub. Sometimes you need to adapt and improvise for the build. Yeah, that's exactly what we just did. We adapted and improvised. Adapt, improvise, and overcome. Yeah, quality control. That's an interesting theory you have, though ultimately completely wrong. We are striving for technical perfection, and without that, might as well not even do the set. Chaos. Absolute chaos. But so far we've gotten pretty lucky with the mistake, so hopefully that'll be the worst of it at this point. This one over here, and two of these guys right here. The one thing that I'm really not looking forward to is getting to the... You don't need to worry about lining those up. Those are all the same.
No, they're not.
Oh, there's one of these in here too. Those guys. Stickers. No matter what, we're going to get to the stickers at some point, and stickers are always terrible. Oh, sorting's done. Goodbye, sorter. Where are they all now? There we go. Those, couple of those, one of these. Okay, so this rod is 9 long, and this presumably is going to need to be in the middle of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to get, say, 4 of these guys. Go like this to make sure we actually have the thing centered, because it's easier to get it in the center at the beginning than it is to try to move things around once other things are already in place. Now that's perfectly centered on there, and we can keep doing other. Now the trick is just don't move it off of the center point while putting these other pieces on. To attach. Here we go. Attach and okay. Perfection is not just in the eye of the builder. Perfection is a quantifiable property and something that one could not argue. Okay, this set has a rope in it, which means we're going to have to tear open to one of these little boxes, which is one of the few things I never like opening up on a Lego set. Okay, let's unwrap that. Okay, now we have a knotted rope. Problem solved. Okay, this is going to need to go through here and knot that. Just going to use a standard double knot here. Hopefully that will be good enough to hold it and it doesn't come out. Sometimes when I'm doing these, I try to push the rope through and then push a piece through where the rope's going so that the piece itself is what locks the rope into place. That doesn't always work out. But there we go. Okay, so now this is going to need to get wrapped up on here. So we'll do that a little bit right now. Actually, it will be a lot easier once it's already attached, but we've already come this far. Should have just attached it and spun it. Oh well. Alright. Now that we have our spool done, this looks like it needs to go through the middle of this yellow bit, like that. And it looks like it's feeding, well, probably doesn't matter if it's feeding over or under. The string is going over in the little subsection, but it looks like it's coming from under down below. So we're gonna go from under, because we're just gonna play fast and loose and hope that that's the right thing to do. Just gonna put it together all willy-nilly. Penalties when I make a mistake. What could the penalty be when I make a mistake? That's not a bad idea. Could make things a little more exciting. I'm open to suggestions. There. Okay, and now there's going to be a hook on the other end, like this guy right here. And whenever I'm tying these, I always try to make it so that the extra rope on the other end of the knot is always as short as possible, which doesn't seem to really make, it doesn't make a huge difference really, but just to maximize the fun one could have while playing with the thing, try to do that so that you can get the most out of it. And this is one of those times where big old fingers don't make this any easier. Oop, almost got it. There we go. Of course, have to take a shot. Sure. Okay. Spent enough time on that rope. Let's keep going on to the next thing. Okay, we need another shot of Jaeger. Oh, that would definitely be a penalty. center that again like we did the last time. There we go. This apparently on this step needs to just float here. Oh, that's actually a... There, okay. Chris Bailey, I think everyone 40 and up is drinking, so I'll let you make that decision for yourself based on your situation. Okay, there we go. Kind of have a little winch. So that's fun. Still need to build a better knob to turn the thing with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You certainly have. Go ahead and enjoy a shot of Fireball. I know your husband has plenty of it lying around. Okay, time for the first sticker. So, stickers. Oh. I know I've complained about stickers a lot. And I've nearly gotten to the point where I'm starting to think that I'm just not going to put them on for pretty much any sets. However, a Technic set like... Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. A Technic set like this is... the stickers aren't just there for decoration. The stickers actually have instructions... Oh, that one's upside down. Instructions on them to show when something is switched one way or the other. Come on, go into focus. No, that's a little turtle. There you go. So low gear. So the instructions on these pieces are on the stickers, and you almost need them so that with all of the switches that this is going to have at the end, you'll actually know what operates all the various pieces. So this one is extra important to get in the right spot so that we know what switch goes there. Nope. A little higher. There. So presumably at some point later on there'll be a switch around here on that guy that puts it into, I don't know, low gear or something. I don't know. We'll find out. That's the fun part about building a new set. So and once again, if you had missed it yesterday, I do have my beautiful new Pride band for the month of June. This is definitely my favorite. The last few years, Apple has been coming out with different specific watch bands to correspond or to for the month of Pride, and they in the past have been the nylon bands, and I just don't like the way the nylon bands fit or feel. The sport band for me is just about the most comfortable one there is. And so this year when they came out with this one, I thought both looked good. It was a little subtle, which I liked, but the feel of it's just so nice. Yeah, Fireball is I feel like that is the new drink, the new bad choice drink. Okay, this is getting tricky here because there's a few different places where this could attach, and it's kind of hard to tell. Step 49 is angled in such a way that it's a little difficult, but it looks like this little yellow doodad is supposed to go onto this little gray doodad. So here's hoping that that's the right thing. That does make it so that these two gears line up. So I think that's going to be okay. Yeah, let's hope. And I'm going to say that I don't think that qualifies as a mistake if it's wrong, because the instructions were a little hard to read. And I acknowledged while I was doing it that it could possibly not be right. So I feel like, in fairness, if I point out that something is difficult to understand, that perhaps that doesn't count as a mistake if I got it wrong. Uh-oh. There's got to be another one of these somewhere. There it is. Yeah, this is cool. So, still not sure everything that this is going to do, but we do have, we're building the makings for a switch here that you can see. I just snapped it into place. It's basically going to be like a transmission selector, gear selector kind of a thing, where it'll either be engaged over here, which will move with that, or right now it moves independently, or if it switches over to the other side, presumably there'll be something else on the other side. That gearing will allow it to have one knob control lots of different things just depending on which way something is switched. Okay. And again, these are complicated instructions. This needs to go through here. And this goes up. Maybe we'll just cheat a little and turn it this way for starters to get it threaded. There we go. And then we'll turn it back into place. Oh, and I pushed it through too far, which I think is going to come back to bite me right now. Yep. Okay, so let's push this back out a little bit. That's what I was talking about earlier. Don't do that. And I just did it. So this needs to go in there. There. Okay. All right. So, well, that's good. So once this is tighter and locked in place, you can see that this little fella in here that's kind of through the middle of those black pieces, it will be responsible for moving that selector. And that's connected on the front to this, which presumably if that's going off to this side, it means it's going to be like that. And then there'll be another something on the other side. Maybe that'll be a high or something. So we'll see soon. That's fun. I like that kind of intricacy. Yeah, I have obviously, well, quite a collection of many different things, but so far I got to say this Technic set is shaping up to be one of the more interesting ones that I've gotten recently. As far as the non-completely wild Technic car builds goes. I had another one that was up over here. This crane had outriggers that got deployed, and it was a neat concept, but it felt kind of rickety. This one so far seems more solid. So we'll see if it is able to keep that up as we keep building here. All right, that's dense. There's a lot of standard Technic building patterns that I feel like they might have different names for internally, and I just don't know what they are. But for example, these steps 57 to 58, where you take a piece like this guy and you put these on either end of it, something like that, where you kind of make a long connector rod out of it. I'm sure it has some cool term that I am unaware of. The Ducati kit, no, the Ducati kit apparently doesn't come out until August or September. And I had thought it came out last Monday on June 1st, the same day that the new Lamborghini got released. I could have sworn that there was something that said that's when the Ducati was going to come out before, but perhaps that announcement had occurred prior to them having the release timing down for the Lamborghini, and they wanted to be able to spread everything out. That would be my guess. But I have the Ducati release on my calendar, so I will definitely be getting that whenever it finally comes out. Alright, this guy needs to go in here as a spacer. And then that goes over there. Alright. And we need another sticker. And as we suspected, this sticker is the opposite of the tortoise. It is the hare. It is the high gear. So I'm not sure what difference that's going to make in this set yet, but we will know soon. Those look to be pretty level to me. Yeah, I remember at some point reading June 1st, and I wouldn't have put it in my calendar on June 1st without a reason behind it. So I can only assume that they've changed it, or they changed it after the fact. Okay, something that I'm going to tell you not to do, and then that I'm going to do, is this little red guy here is just this is just sitting on the end, so if you tilt it, it can easily come off. And I'm going to say don't let that happen, and put it down in such a way where that doesn't happen. But I'm going to say that, and then the next time I pick this thing up, it's going to fall off. So, as Lex said previously, do as I say, not as I do. Okay. Oops. Just had that oriented incorrectly. Not sure if she's out there yet, but earlier today I was talking with my cousin Molly. It's her birthday today. Told her she was going to get a shout out. She frequently watches the stream. I'm not sure if she ever... she went to the beach today. I don't know which beach, but she went to a beach. She was on her way home, so if you're back yet, Molly, and watching, happy birthday. If not, well, I'll tell you again later. Okay, this needs to be here, and need one of these on top, like that. Okay, this is getting tricky. So, hey, look, I didn't let the thing fall off. How impressed with me are we all? I'm very impressed with me right now. Okay. looks like this, the purpose of this little fellow here is going to be to twist this and keep that from spinning. So it'll be a little lock. Don't know how that's going to all ultimately come together yet, but that's what that'll be for. Ah, and now we finally get to put everything back together. How fun. Okay. Okay, this guy needs to attach. Let's see here. He's going this way, and he will be here. And these go through the top of this, like so. Okay. So now we've got these to twist and adjust the back bit back here, and to rotate the top. But that's still a pretty weak connection. So yeah, let's hold it up. Everything looks good. Yeah, that's all aligned correctly. Now we need to build some more pieces surrounding it so that it's firms it up a bit. Is that the right one? That is the right one. Hopefully that's what the next steps will be having us do. Also, there's been a lot of birthdays over the last week or so. I know today is also, I'm not sure if they've come and watched the stream yet, but Elisa, I believe it's Elisa's birthday today as well. So happy birthday, Elisa. That's true. Yesterday was also Travis's birthday, of Seven Stars fame. So, birthdays abound. We actually made our roughly weekly pilgrimage over to our favorite bar, Seven Stars, to get some dinner, and saw Travis and did not realize it was his birthday until we were way back home. And so he didn't tell us when we got there, and we missed out on the opportunity to tell him in person, which we're pretty bummed about. Quality control, I am sorry that I don't believe you've missed any opportunities to tell me about anything I've done wrong, so I think you're fine. How's the quality control in your kitchen today? Any more dog deposits? Or is that slowing down? Yeah, I think once all of this shelter-in-place stuff is finally behind us, I think Seven Stars. Oops, there was a sticker on that last one that I almost completely missed because I was blocking it out. That needs to be sticker 16. Yeah, I think 7 stars will be the place that we probably visit first once such things are possible again. That needs to be that way. Chris Bailey, these are the original stickers. This is a new set that I have not yet put together, which is partially why, or partially, it's entirely why Lex was sorting everything out for us live on the table here earlier in the stream. This Technic set doesn't have individual bags, so we just had to jump right on in and just do it live, as they say. 3. Sticker number 3. Ugh. There's so many stickers on this set. Nope. Stickers are frequently easier when you have another piece in there that you can hold on to hold on to the piece without having your fingers on it, but this piece is irregularly shaped enough that it's actually hard to figure out how to hold it when applying the sticker. Feels pretty good. There. Brutalis. I assume it's possible that that is a brand name for some heavy machinery, or it's just a Lego Imagination thing. Okay, this side, and yeah, now we're gonna firm this stuff up. So we have an axle coming through. This needs to go on there. That attaches there. Everything just lines up the way it's supposed to. Great. The hardest part sometimes is when there's so many different things that line up, getting them to all connect at the same time can be tricky. But there we go. That worked. And now presumably we'll put a couple more pieces down and then do the exact same thing for the other side. We need one more of those. Whatever this one is. These little gears right here, more often than not, they use these to allow you to turn. These are almost more frequently used as grips for turning things, like they are up here as well, than they are actually for doing inner gearing in the set itself. So, not terribly important, just Something I've noticed. Woohoo, I caught it. All right. All right, looks like we're making some brake lights now. Brake lights. Oh, it's the first time I've ever seen one of these little macaroni bits fit over top of the black piece that's here like this, and that fits perfectly. I've never actually seen them do that before. That's neat. Okay, and that goes in there. And yeah, lock it into place. Oh, looks like we're still going to just keep working on this side. Okay, so we need that. This. Guessing we'll have more stickers very soon. 1, 2, 3. There's another sticker. Cool. Alright, so we need to have one of these. Sticker number 9. And it's going to be oriented this way. Go. There. Oh good, another sticker. Why not get Lex to put the stickers on? Good question. The answer is mainly because it's pretty much impossible to get these perfect on here. And when I do it myself, then I can just be mad at myself. And even though it would be completely unreasonable to think that anybody could do better, this way we minimize the chance of me being unrealistically upset about sticker placement. In fact, when we were building those Star Wars helmets, there was a sticker on one that she was trying to put on, and I had looked at it and critiqued its placement, and so she gave it to me to put on myself. And when I gave it back to her, she looked at it and pointed out that her placement had actually been much better than mine, which I could not argue. But yes, as long as I'm the one that makes a mistake with my own stuff, then it's my own fault. Okay. That's gonna... And I love her too much to give her that sort of an opportunity to disappoint me unfairly. That is exactly correct. I think the small print on that too is if you are unrealistically neurotic or a little OCD. All right. So all these pieces that we've been putting together have been coming together fairly nicely, and we have a dense, I think, front of this thing. No, is it the butt? I think that's the back. I'm not sure if it's the front or the back yet. But we've got this great pile of machinery here, and this is in neutral at the moment. We can just spin, 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 and then that will put that into gear. I'm not sure what the difference between those two are at the moment. Low probably means it turns slower, and high means it turns faster. I don't know. We'll play with that more later. If that's all that does, it's almost a little disappointing that it wasn't used to do a little bit more. But we'll find out. These little macaroni arms to me just look like they should be part of a minion. Here. Okay, looks like once again we're going to just set that to the side for a bit, and now we're going to work on the cab. Do. I think perhaps a better way to describe the phenomenon is managing your own expectations. of not putting unrealistic, unfair responsibility on others. I feel like there was an episode of Community where they talked about the slogan of the school being something like aim low. I think that was Community, but maybe it was in a movie. Oh, maybe it was in Accepted. Anyway, can't remember. But it was a joke somewhere. Well, where that extra piece goes. Ah, there it is. That is correct, Chris. Yes. Well, this is something odd is going on here, and I'm not sure how to reconcile all of this at the moment. This is got pieces going in every which way, and it can't really tell. Well, now that's in front of that. How did that get over there? Looks like it was supposed to be there all along. Okay. Which one's in there? Okay, so that's supposed to be like that. Okay, well, let's see where this goes. This is... Chris, I would say relative to most people, he's a saint. Alright, well, this stuff is getting locked in place here. This is some really, really wild angles that we have going on here. which is kind of fun. Seeing, oh, maybe that's gonna be a seat. Oh, that's probably what that is. I'm not sure. We're just gonna keep building and see what it looks like. The Bob Ross equivalent of just throwing some paint up there and then trying to figure out what it is once you paint it. Okay, those with that and that. Sometimes when you're doing this, you kind of have to hold the piece up and eye it in toward the instructions to make sure that everything's lined up the correct way. There. That's got to be some kind of chair. I think that's what that's going to be. Okay, now we need the black macaroni. There we go. And another one of those. Quality control, please do share. What would you like to see on CaseyBuilds? She builds plenty of Lego sets on her own without my direction. Quality control, that is a great idea. Maybe all I do is look at the picture on the box to see what the general idea is that I'm trying to get to. That could be a fun special episode of CaseyBuilds. I like that idea. That's good. Yeah, I would definitely be weeping. It would be... I think that would be even worse than the Lego light set. St. Jude is the saint that keeps you safe in your travels, correct?
St. Christopher.
Oh, St. Christopher. Which one's St. Jude?
Patron saint of children.
No, he's more than that.
Lost causes, maybe, too?
Is that what it is? Patron saint of lost causes? This is really interesting right now. This is fun. We have
the patron saint of desperate cases and lost causes.
patron saint of desperate cases and lost causes. That's great. Wow, between Gently Weeping and Jude, my chat here starting to look like lyrics from Beatles songs. Does that even fit in there? Oh, it does. Look at that. Yeah, this is pretty cool. We have a kind of a cage here that has a little bit of bend to it. So we should be able to put that on here. I'm surprised that this counts as a valid Lego building techniques. For those of you that don't know, Lego actually has a set of rules that dictate what qualifies as acceptable ways to put Lego pieces together and what aren't acceptable. And things that you might expect to not be a problem are, and some of the things that you would aren't. And I don't know if they actually have a list of do's and don'ts, or if it's a just community known stuff, but some of them have to do with when you have a plate with studs and like you're not supposed to take another one and lean it up like perpendicular in the middle of the studs even though it fits, things like that. And I can't even remember, that might even be a valid thing to do, but it's funny, they actually have a list of no-nos. You may think, well, hey, if it fits, it fits, but they actually do have rules. Rules do make everything more fun. I'm glad you said that. I completely agree. I think I might have had this exact conversation with our friend Andy before, where I was talking about how all games are arbitrary sets of rules, parameters that tell you how to have fun. And so when you're not following the rules of the game, all you're doing is you're just hurting everyone, because the game in itself is just a arbitrary set of instructions, and the fun is in following the instructions. There we go. Okay. So now our cab's going to have a printout, or I have a little screen, a readout here. There we go. Yeah, that's looking real cool. good, more stickers. That's gonna go there. Okay, let's see how that sticker's supposed to go on here. Sticker number 18. Okay, there we are, and now we need some of these guys over here. And these little fellas, they frequently use, whoops, just as spacers. Also, I just realized that earlier when I was talking about lifting something up in such a way and that I was sure the piece was going to fall off when I did it and I picked it up the next time, it didn't fall off. And I didn't think about it because it didn't fall off, but I actually did it the right way, and all of a sudden I just remembered that that didn't happen. So I'm giving myself a mental high five right now for not messing that up. Okay. Wow. All right. So these are incredibly dense, weird combinations of pieces here. And it looks like it needs to go here. Yeah, there we go. Holy cow, it's already 3:45. Time is flying. I had no idea it was this late already. I thought I'd be done by now. Technic sets always take longer. This is true. Heh. Okay. We've got a door here. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's make one for the other side, I guess. Also, when you don't have the pieces all divvied out in individual bags per section, that also makes it take quite a bit longer too. brakes are there. Okay. And the way this door swings up and open just made me think about the scissor doors that are going to be on that Lamborghini Technic set that I'm really excited to tear into once it finally shows up. There. These are, I feel like the doors on this set might be some of the most interesting part of the build, actually. Because I'll show you again once I get this other door on here and I hold it up. But it's not just swinging open the way a normal door would. It's got a kind of got an angle to it. I suppose it just rotates, but giving it a little bit too much extra credit, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it is turning out, and it is just pivoting on here, but the way it turns, it almost goes up and out of the way. It's turning up at an interesting angle, which I can't really explain why that's exciting to me, but for some reason it is. Oh, this is a little fire extinguisher for workplace safety. Safety never takes a holiday, as I'm told. Little fire extinguisher. Yes, I suppose because it's clever. All right, now we're going to attach this to this somehow. And I bet you next step is going to be locking it in place on the other side, and it is. There we go. We need this one and this one. There. Oh, that's great. All right, let's see what we build next on this thing. There. Sticker number 14. 14. All right, that's sticker number 5. And the stickers even align with one another, which means I didn't do a terrible job of placing them. So not going to have to force myself to go to bed with no supper tonight. Okay, this is another case of not pushing the piece all the way through, and I'm guessing this is going to be some kind of stopper or punchy bit. I don't know what to how to describe it. This right here moves intentionally. Oh, well, no. It's going to get pushed through. I just needed to have this other piece in place first. Okay. I was hoping for something a little more interactive, but I suppose that'll do. That looks good. And this attaches over here. Oh. Oh. Huh. Well, that was supposed to be in there. Like that. I think I missed a step earlier where this is supposed to attach a certain way. I have done something wrong. Let's see, maybe like that. And that goes up in there. Yeah, that's what that's supposed to do. Boy, I don't know how I got that so wrong before. I really missed something earlier, but it's fixed now, so that's the same as it not being a problem. There. Got one on that side. Let's build one on the other side. That is sticker number 2. Okay. One of the things that really helps with placing the stickers is having the lighting perfect, basically. And she just went downstairs before she saw that. But having the lighting perfect such that when you're placing it, you can actually see the shine on the piece below the sticker, so you can see the edges of it, and doing that lets you kind of align the sticker to the edges of the piece, which is ultimately what you want to be doing anyway. But using the light reflection is a really good way to do that. There we go. Lined up once again. Let's do another one of these. That and that and a couple of those. There it is. Okay. There. Come on. Get on there. Get on there. There. Elbow. There we go. And toss that onto the other side, which I've already fixed. There we go. All right, and then this side actually does have some instructions printed on it for the hook there. So up means it can come out. If it's down, then it locks it in place. Very good. Okay. Okay. There. Starting to get low on all the little black pieces down here. Oh, I think what we're going to get to the point here. I know what the big steps to finish this thing are going to be. It'll probably be once we have to go put all the tread on here. Because we got a big bag of that. Because this will have a tank style treads eventually. Oh wow, stickers on the inside and outside of this one. Okay, so number 12 on the outside. And number 16 on the inside. 16 on the inside. I don't know if I've ever put a sticker in this location before. On the inside bend of one of these guys. That's cool. All right. Boom. Boom. I'm going to say that part of the problem too, I'm going to blame the fact that the Lego studio here can get a little on the warm side, and that definitely goes to your brain. So can't really tell, but my fingers, my little clammy right now, which doesn't make building any easier. I have no idea what we're building right. Oh, this is going to be the claw on the front. That's what this is. Of course. Of course. Is that what Andy says? Okay. This didn't say how far to push it through, but clearly it needs to be centered. There. What about the motivation to improve simply to better oneself? Is that not a thing? Self-betterment? Seems important. All right, this is another weird angle here on here, but let's see here. It looks like that goes through to there. Needs to be relatively straight. Whoa. Okay. I think that's it. What are we voting on? Ooh. Okay, let's check on that one more time. Yeah, that's lined up. Okay. This is real tricky right now, having this lined up correctly, because this is what controls the grabbing of the grabber. It's been a long time since I've read tractor books, so can't really remember. I will do a shot. Perhaps you guys should tell Lex what I should do a shot of. She is going downstairs. You can choose my punishment. Oops. Ah. Chris, I would like to point out that I am not your husband, and that's, I don't know if the punishment fits the crime here. That seems awfully severe. And because of the fear, that sticker is not perfectly aligned now, and I hope you're happy to have caused me this much stress. One, two, three, four, five, six. Sticker number 1. Ugh. There's only one sticker left. Oh, happy day. Wait a minute. Oh, like that. Where? Oh, there it is. Nah. Okay, let's see how this fits together here. That goes through to there. There, like that, and then those are going to line up. Okay, and that, we'll let that articulate. That needs to be centered between 3. Let's use these. Oh wow, you really filled that up there. Okay.
Look at the stock list.
Oh. Got a boob sheep on here. And we have the date of my birthday. Cheers. This is a little bit different than the Lego building I did in my youth. That is an interesting idea, though. I wonder how many mistakes one could make before you started seeing some real unfortunate drop off due to not being able to actually see what you're doing. Okay, that needs to go I hope you're all happy. Cascading failure. Yeah, that sounds like the term I would use for what we're just talking about here. And for all of our younger viewers out there, that was iced tea, which is really icky. Okay, last sticker. Finally, no more stickers. Wow, it got really dark.
Clouds do that.
Come on, sticker. There we go. Okay. There we go. No more mistakes. No more mistakes. Yeah, this is all coming together. It's looking pretty cool. I fear that if I pick it up, things might fall in ways that would make it difficult for me to know where they fell from. So I'm hesitant to pick it up at this point. But it is definitely starting to look pretty darn cool. So this needs to connect there to there. Okay, so this one back here lets that raise up. That's pretty neat. Okay. Nope. Yep. Whew. All right. These are some really interesting combinations of pieces here, and everything's all working out, but there's lots of weird bits. Okay, we gotta turn it upside down, so clearly picking it up is okay. It needs to go through that one like that, and we'll do another one for the underside. We are getting close here. These pieces are starting to disappear quickly, and I think some of these ones are going to be parts of large steps where we'll cut through a whole bunch of them real quick. So normally I have standing plans at 4:30 on Sundays, and we'll see if we can get this done in the next 15 minutes.
I assume you want your usual rate.
Okay, now we're working on the bottom bits. This is... Let's get this stuff closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Through there. Okay, and that doesn't say 2x, so we're just going to build one set. How's that go? That needs to be there. Huh. Yeah. Never used the inner bits on those before. That's, again, we're doing some pretty creative things in the build process here. I like that. Makes it fun. That needs to be centered. That's centered, and this one needs to be centered. Centered. And needs to go out. Nope. Like that. Those on the end caps like that. There. Yep. All right. Now we take 4 more of those. Oops. Get back on there. There. Looks like we're working on having a system for all of the treads to wrap around here. Come on. One, 2, 3, and a 4. Here we go. All right, now the runners. Hey Lex, you want to help me with something? Take those and attach them all together. Just take them.
You're gonna cut into my drinking time.
They just all go together like that.
Your chair has cut it. I better get a raise.
Okay, you can have a 500% raise.
Do you also want me to make your logs into logs?
No. That's okay. Thank you. These guys go like that. For such a modestly sized set, this one has some pretty impressive intricacy with the Technic components here. I'm impressed and having fun with it. I know earlier on I had mentioned how this was better than other Technic sets that I'd done recently that were standard Technic kinds of sets, and I stand by my assessment. I think they did a really good job with this one. So much so that if you were looking for, if you had not done Technic sets before and were perhaps looking for a first Technic set to start with, this one's pretty good. Heck, I think I might have even... This might have even been the one I had pulled off of my shelf to recommend. It's been when somebody asked about that in a very, very old episode. So I'm glad I didn't lead you wrong. There is not a Technic Death Star. It is simply the Death Star. So, yeah, you should. It will be a build very similar to the Disney Castle. Be a lot more like that than like this or like the Porsche.
You're gonna have to start at like 11 and go till 2, and then...
Yeah, that would be a long build. Okay, we got half of it. So we'll have tank tread going around that. And it even has, oops, it even has shocks built into it. So now for the other side. lovely assistant has put all of our tread together here. So once we get to that step, we'll be able to just attach it and we won't have to put them all together. Thank you, lovely assistant.
You're welcome.
We just lost brown pieces.
You. For shame.
Thank you.
Is it the middle that fell off?
I think maybe 2 or 3.
How about 4? I mean
4?
5.
There should be an even number of them. Thank you. Nope. There we go. Yeah, just so you all know, Bo James has been asking very patiently for the Death Star build. And he's been asking for actually longer than I've been doing these live builds. Pretty much ever since the first time lapse I did of the Disney Castle, he's been wanting a build of the Death Star. So we are quickly approaching the time where we're finally going to do that. And that's going to be one heck of a build. But it'll be a lot of fun. It will have lots of interior areas. Very, very similar to like when the castle build that we did. So there'll be a lot of fun, interesting things to see. Lots of good Star Wars scenes to geek out about. Labor Day weekend event. That would be a great idea, but I don't think I could ask Bo James to have to wait for so long. It would be a good long weekend though. Do we have any other long weekends before then? Let's see, we got the 4th of July coming up. What other holidays are there? Yeah, I wish we had I wish we had a different 3-day weekend before that one. That might be the next one. I don't know if it is. I don't know if 4th of July is a weekend. Could be. Can't really remember what day that's on. Also, I've tried to avoid giving too many work-specific details, but a few of us have a kind of a big work day coming up toward the end of June, and perhaps that might be accompanied with a day off over a weekend that would turn it into a long weekend, and we might be coming up with something pretty soon where that timing could work out pretty well, actually. That might be a good plan. Okay, how's this come together? Those ones are there. Don't want those to come out. This one is supposed to go here. There. Okay, and that goes in there. Okay, that goes there. I believe that's June 22nd, I think. I do not recall, but one should check the Apple website, since that is most likely where that information is. This stuff to come together so it doesn't actually fall apart on me, since some of these pieces can just fall right out. Haha! There we go. There we are. And looks like that's supposed to go right there. Oh yeah, we are right there. Okay, there's that. And, oh. I keep waiting to flip the page over here and then have it say put together a whole bunch of tread pieces. Need to go on like that. And that holds it in place. Okay, and looks like we're going to do that all the way around the whole thing. So there's a few of these rods poking out on this inside that we're attaching things to, presumably to firm this all up and keep it together so that so possibly be a load-bearing area, so that the set will just be a lot more structurally sound. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This goes on the bottom. Goes on the bottom like that. Okay, that just fits right in there. And then that'll hold it all together. Oh, there we go. There! Alright, now I bet we're going to flip it over and put some tread on it. Woohoo! There we go. Ha! Tread! Okay, so we need 35 per. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 10. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So if that's correct, then those should be equal length. And they are. Perfect. Great. We have two sets of treads here. So that should be able to set that right on both. Like so. Yeah, like that. And then this will just come right around, snap together. Okay, that's one. This will fit up underneath here. And that's two. Come on. There. Ha! We got some tank tread going on there with a little bit of give. So I can actually go over rocks or whatever. 210. So there should be 20 of these. Do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 10. Yeah, perfect. All right, and now we just basically to keep all these together. You could just put them all together, just put a stack of them together. But putting a rod through. Putting an axle like this through the middle of these sorts of things, it is remarkable how strong and hard it is to get these things to come apart at that point. They are so sturdy together with one of these things through the middle. There's another set, the roller coaster, which is a really cool playground set, and because it is a massive set. It would cover this table, half this table, but because it actually has a roller coaster flying around track, it needs to have a whole lot of scaffolding, or I don't know what to call it, in place. And so you build a whole lot of these while building the set, and it is incredibly solid. Well, that's that. Okay, these are all extra pieces. I didn't have a tag for those, but let's see here. That lets it grab. Okay, so let's try to pretend we're going to pick that up. There we go. Down, and well, we got one. Haha! Oh, guess I didn't grab it well. Maybe we just try to get one at a time. Okay, well, it's not angled well, but those should theoretically be grabbable. It's kind of hard for me to do this at the angle I am, so that you guys can see it on the camera. But yeah, we have this right here lets it grab. This can turn that around. We have this in the back. Disappointingly, this appears to simply just change the speed at which we pull stuff in, which is kind of boring, but that's okay. That is locked in place now. Yeah, that was a great build. This was a lot of fun. This was a great modern Technic set. Yeah, that was super. I could see taking this apart and then maybe trying to build the other one too one of these days, because if the other build is anywhere near as fun as this one was, it would also be a great one to do. But yes, we will have the Death Star soon. We'll get out the calendar and figure out a good day for that to happen. Thank you all for joining for this. One more time, happy birthday, Molly and Travis and Chris from last week. Lots of birthdays. Happy birthday to all you guys. And this was a lot of fun. Thanks for showing up today, and enjoy what remains of your weekend. Bye, everyone.